Well, I think we just saw a situation here just a moment ago where the Fabulous Ones were surprised by some of the moves that the new kids were able to come up with. And they ended up going for the cheap shot. They went for the pile driver to wrap it up. Here comes the King. It may take him a minute to get here as he's greeted by the fans on the way over. He, of course, was able to help out. King, first, thanks for your help in getting the new kids out and uninjured even more than they were with that pile driver on there.
Yeah, you know, anytime you mess with the Fabulous Ones, that's the kind of stuff you can expect. Especially, you know, I remember just a few weeks ago right here, you just can't turn your back on anybody that's connected with Jimmy Cornette. I want to talk a little bit about the Fabulous Ones, Jimmy Cornette, that sort of stuff. But first, I know we got some footage we want to show. I want to mention two things, and we got some people sitting over here that we're going to get to in just a minute, too, and have them out here. But I want to mention a little appearance that I'm going to be making this afternoon, and I'll talk more about it in just a few minutes, but it's going to be, at the zoo. Thanks a lot. This is this guy. Hey, save your breath. You'll need it to blow up your inflatable date later on today. What I wanted to say was, we're going to be out at Sports Unlimited, which is a 6777 Winchester, and we're going to have out there a lot of free pictures for everybody. And we're going to have some free wrestling tickets that are going to be good for this Monday night's matches. So coming out, it's going to be from 2 to 4 this afternoon. We'll talk about it a little bit more after a while, but and we got some people from Sports Unlimited too. Before I talk about the match that's going to be coming up this week, look, it's on the screen right now. Before I talk about the match that's going to be coming up this week, I wanted to talk about the match that took place last week. And I understand we're going to show some footage.
We've got some footage of that. You and Jeff going against Stan and Steve and Cornette.
And pay particular interest to the end of the match. Frank Morrell was refereeing, and Jamie Dundee had refereed some matches earlier in the evening, and this was the weirdest situation I've ever been involved in because, Bill Dundee was out of action due to the Fabulous Ones, but Jamie Dundee comes in at the end of this match and comes up with the craziest decision that you've ever seen. Let's just take a look at the highlights.
Take a look at it.
Come on, you gotta get on.
And now behind the ref's back, Lawler too late to prevent. Stan Lane for pile driving Jarrett.
And again, it looks like they're setting him up. Pile drives him a second time as Jim Cornette was on the ring apron.
Stan Lane yelled about his knee, saying his knee gave out. Jarrett makes the tag. Lawler in, but Morrell did not see it. Oh no, here comes a third pile driver. Doctor, that could be it right there.
And Lane going to work on him, but Jarrett coming back with a couple of rights of his own. Firing away on Stan Lane. Giving it all he's got. Falling back into the corner. Kern grabbing the tights. Jarrett down in between Lane's legs. In comes Lawler.
And the strap immediately comes down. And Lawler is nailing him left and right with the fist. Jim Cornette on the apron, and Lawler nails him. Jarrett back to his feet. They have him in the opposite corners. Wailing away on him. Frank Morrell is hit by a forearm from Steve Kern. I don't know if that was accidental or intentional. Lawler has Lane set up for a pile driver. Nails him with it. Lane quivering in the center of the ring. Lawler in for the cover. But Frank Morrell is groggy. He's right there, but he is groggy. Kind of what? And Jamie Dundee is in, said ring the bell. Jamie Dundee, who has been a special referee tonight in previous matches, just come in and he said Lawler put a pile driver on him.
Jamie Dundee running out here, handing the USWA World Tag Team title belts back to the Fabulous Ones after watching from the back and saw Lawler pile drive Stan Lane as Frank Morrell was knocked out cold by Kern on the mat. Lawler had Lane pinned for a count of 3, but Jamie Dundee comes in and tells Frank Morrell, I saw it from the back. Jerry Lawler pile drives.
Well, I think we could easily see exactly what happened. Jamie had selective vision there. He missed the first 3 pile drivers, which the Fabulous Ones put on Jeff.
Yeah, actually, I think in the match there were about 5 of them that the Fabulous Ones, as you said, used on Jeff Jarrett. Jamie Dundee later on says that he didn't see those, that he just came around and began watching the match when I pile-drived Stan Lane, and he felt that it was his obligation and his duty to come out there and reverse that decision. But actually, in the argument that ensued there, we did at least get Frank Morrell to, he asked the crowd there, everybody was telling him what took place. So the one good thing that came out of it, instead of the Fabulous Ones being declared the winners of the match and retaining the World Tag Team titles, at least Frank decided the belts have been held up. They are not the World Tag Team champions any longer. Jeff and I aren't either, but at least Jimmy Cornette is no longer managing the World Tag Team champions. That brings us now to this week's match. There has been a return match ordered, but there are going to be a little bit of different stipulations this week. Of course, Cornette is always in the corner of the Fabulous Ones. Cornette is always a constant thorn in your side. He's somebody that you always have to worry about, wonder where he is during the match. Well, this week, Bill Dundee is going to be back, and he is going to be in our corner to offset any actions by Jimmy Cornette. So that should even the sides out. It'll be Steve Keirn, Stan Lane with Jimmy Cornette, and it'll be against Jerry Lawler, Jeff Jarrett with Bill Dundee. Now, as I said, that should make it the sides even. That should make it good enough where we feel like we could come out of there with the World Tag Team titles. But there has also been another little extra stipulation added to this match that I'm very, very excited about. Because you see, Steve Keirn and Stan Lane have been running around this area now, running all around Memphis, Tennessee, following the orders of Jimmy Cornette. They've been listening to everything that Jimmy Cornette has been telling them to do, because in the back of their mind, they think that they're going to put me out, and they think that they're going to put Jeff Jarrett out. They already got rid of Eddie Gilbert, and they think they're going to collect all this money from Terry Funk. That's what Jimmy Cornette has in mind for these guys, and they've been listening to him. Just like they used to listen to another guy, but they forgot everything that this other guy taught them. Well, let me tell you something, guys. This other guy has heard about what you've been doing, and he's not real happy about it. And he's going to be here Monday night to be the special referee in this match. And I'm talking about the real Fabulous One. Jackie Fargo is going to be right here, and he's going to be the special referee Monday night. So what I want you to do, Steve Keirn and Stan Lane, is I want you to get somewhere and try to look in a mirror, and I want you to look at yourselves, and I want you to try to think about what you've become, because now it's time to pay the fiddler, boys. When we talk about the history of you and Jackie Fargo, we're talking about a man who was probably the best known and the greatest wrestler who ever stepped foot in a ring in not only Memphis, Tennessee, but anywhere in the country. And everybody knows what Jackie Fargo always stood for. Jackie Fargo always stood for pride, honor, and he did what was right. Sure, he would break the rules occasionally, but only if he had to, only if he was forced to. Jackie Fargo always stood up for what was right, and that's what he tried to instill in you guys. That's the reason that he put Steve Keirn and Stan Lane together. And what Jackie did was he gave you guys the name The Fabulous One. You didn't earn it. Jackie Fargo earned that name over years of going around the country with his own blood, sweat, and tears. Jackie Fargo earned the name The Fabulous One, and he gave it to you guys. And now you guys are the one that have dragged the name The Fabulous One through the mud. You guys are the one that have tarnished the name The Fabulous One. You, Steve Keirn, and you, Stan Lane, and most of all you, Jimmy Cornette. And now, Monday night, like I said, it's time to pay, boys, because Jackie Fargo, the real Fabulous One, is going to be back here. And then you guys got to look him in the eyes, and you guys got to try to explain to him your actions over the last few weeks. And I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be bad enough to be in your shoes when you have to face me and Jeff Jarrett and Bill Dundee in the ring, but I would really hate to be in your shoes when I have to look Jackie Fargo in the eyes, the man that, as I said, put you guys together and gave you the name The Fabulous Ones, and try to explain to him what you've done to that name. All I got to say, boys, is we're going to throw all of that past history out the window as far as Jeff and I are concerned. We're going to be there Monday night for one reason, and that's to win the World Tag Team titles and take them away from two guys that in the past I would have said should deserve them. But Steve Kern and Stan Lane, you guys, now that you're with Jimmy Cornette, are nothing to be proud of. You're nothing to be called champions. And as far as Jeff and I are concerned, we're going to take those titles away from you, and then you can deal with Jackie Fargo any way you see best. So be there Monday night, boys, because Jeff Jarrett, Bill Dundee, and Jerry the King Lawler are going to be there. And also, the fabulous Jackie Fargo is going to be there. And I just want to see how they try to squirm out of this one.
What a night.